Nobody comes into this house without paying the price.
Not here! Not ever!
And we are live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's the AFC Championship game between the 11-5 Houston Texans and the 12-4 defending Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out here with Sonny Weaver, and we'd like to thank everybody for hanging out with us, chat, as we deal with these that was English right there. I'm a commentator. I know how to speak good English right now. I speak it real good. As we dealt with those technical difficulties, we'd like to thank everyone for hanging out with us, as we got a great game coming up between the Texans and the Steelers. The Texans, a team that wasn't really expected to get here, but they have been able to fight through some injuries. What sort of chance do the Texans have today against the vaunted Pittsburgh Steelers?
Really, if you're looking for a Texans victory, it comes off pressure. I would look to try to press early. Press with help over top. You've got Johnson on the outside, who may be able to take away one of their receivers. You put safety help over top, and you try to get that defensive line a chance to get some pressure. I think really what we're looking for here is J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney to take this game over. If that can happen, that's the way the Texans are going to win this game.
Those are two big stars for sure on this Houston defense, and we're going to get a chance to see those two as Pittsburgh is going to start out with the ball, looking to come out early and set the tone. This is a Pittsburgh offense that still is one of the best in the league. They're sitting here. They've got the number one offense in terms of both points and yards overall, and they do still have Ben Roethlisberger at the helm leading this team as 1st and 10. It's going to be Ben Roethlisberger under center. It's going to be a play-action pass. You can throw it out to the right side to Nix, and it is complete. It's going to be a 4-yard gain on 1st down, but something we haven't talked about, somebody in the backfield there, we haven't seen him all year, and he just came back from the playoffs. That's Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell's missed some time this year with injuries. Disappointing season. Even when he was there, his yards per carry were down a little bit. But you know what? This is the time it matters. They're going to have him for this game, and I expect a big game from Le'Veon Bell here.
2nd and 6 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is going to be dropping back to pass. It's Ben Roethlisberger, completes it to Antonio Brown on the left side. It is complete. It is a 1st down, and Antonio Brown, boy, he's still one of the best receivers in the league. It's got to be nice to have a guy like that on your offense.
And they've extended his contract here for another couple years. His skills diminishing a little bit from a physical attributes, but he can still catch the ball and be where he's supposed to be.
1st and 10 as Ben Roethlisberger is going to come out under center with 3 wide receivers. And it's our first chance. See Le'Veon Bell. He's got a nice hole on the left side. 9-yard gain. Call it a short 10. It's going to bring up a 2nd inches, but Le'Veon Bell doesn't look like he's lost a step coming back from injury.
No, not at all. And honestly, that left tackle pushed out and did the kick out block on the defensive end there. And that was a big hole there for Bell to run through. I'm almost feeling like I could have got 10 yards on that carry. So good job there by the offensive line.
Could have counted on me to get about 3 there. I'm not that quick. But 2nd and inches, it's going to be a play-action pass. Ben Roethlisberger, look at the pass. He got Steven wide open over the middle. He's down to the 25-yard line, breaking a couple tackles. It looked like the Houston Texans were completely fooled on that play-action pass on 2nd inches. Great play call.
The play action worked to suck them down, but Pittsburgh does a good job of flooding the zones with near routes, trying to confuse guys in the routes.
1st and 10 for Ben Roethlisberger in that shotgun with 4 wide receivers and Le'Veon Bell. He's dropping back to pass. Hit as he threw, and that's our first opportunity to see a little pressure on Ben Roethlisberger. It certainly got to him, certainly affected his throw. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Something we haven't discussed yet, there's been rumors that this could be Ben Roethlisberger's last season. So with 2 back-to-back Super Bowl titles under his belt, going for his 3rd one, I'm expecting to see Ben try to will himself to one last ride here.
Man, that would be weird to see a Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback that's not Ben Roethlisberger. He has been there for so long, such a staple as he comes out in the shotgun with Le'Veon Bell. It's going to be a hand off to Bell as the flag is down. They're stopping for a loss of 2, but it's going to be a hold on Sammy Coates on the outside away from the play. And even though Houston gets the stop on that one, they'll take that 10-yard penalty, back him up to a 2nd and 20.
And it looked like Bell was almost confused, like he didn't know he was getting the ball there. He took the handoff thinking maybe a play action, then Ben gives him the ball and he dances in the backfield a little bit. Looked like some confusion there on the play.
2nd and 20 for this Pittsburgh Steelers offense. Is Ben Roethlisberger going to be under center. He's got Brown to his left, Bryant to his right, dropping back to pass. He's going to hit Bryant over the middle, and he's going to make a nice shake and bake move, able to break that tackle and get up to the 18-yard line. They get 16 back, bring up a 3rd and 4, but mostly getting that 16 yards and cutting this to a 3rd and manageable is huge for a team that took a bad penalty.
Yeah, bad penalty, but they're starting to get it back. Martavius Bryant with the nice juke move there. A bigger receiver, you normally don't see that out of him, but surprisingly, he's really good in the open field with the ball in his hands.
3rd and 4, as the Texans have an opportunity to stop them in the red zone. It's going to be Ben Roethlisberger with 5 wide receivers in the shotgun, dropping back to pass once again. And he has his man. It is Martavius Bryant. He's into the end zone for a touchdown. They look like straight-up man coverage, and Martavius Bryant just showing he is too good for that man coverage. Got to have at least 2 on him. He breaks down the middle for a little slant route for a touchdown. It's 7-0 Pittsburgh early.
Yeah, one thing you've got to watch with Pittsburgh is they do like to move their top wide receivers into the slot there. So you saw Bryant in there matched up with a mismatch. You see that as a defense, the Texans are going to have to check to a zone play because there aren't many guys, especially on this Texans team, that can run with Bryant. So when you see Bryant or Brown move into the slot there, I'm going to check to zone and try to fend them off that way, most likely.
Man coverage bit the defense, and they're going to be coming back down 7-0 Pittsburgh on top over Houston, but Houston getting their first opportunity with the ball. And as we mentioned before, instead of Connor Cook, we got Brock Osweiler back there. Connor Cook down with an injury. He's going to come out in the I formation with 2 wide receivers to his right. And it's going to be a handoff to Lamar Miller. He's got a lot of room on that left side. A nice tackle over there, but it's still a 10-yard gain for Lamar Miller. And Houston certainly going to be riding Lamar Miller hard today.
Yeah, and the tackle there made by Sean Davis. He's really come about to be one of the best safeties in NBL. Out of Maryland, he's really developed in this defense back there. Like I said, the defense that gives up a lot of yards, but once again, they create a lot of splash plays, and that guy right there, Sean Davis, is one of the reasons why.
1st and 10, as it's going to be Brock Osweiler dropping back to pass, and that is not what you were hoping to see on your first pass of the day. A little nerves there, it looked like, for Brock Osweiler. He just straight up overthrew his tight end coming across the middle. He was wide open. Lucky that wasn't intercepted, but it just falls harmlessly to the ground for a 2nd and 10.
Osweiler not setting his feet there. He was at the back of his drop. Instead of taking a step forward, threw off his back foot. He had plenty of time. I think a little bit nervous here. He's feeling pressure that's not there. He needs to settle down and make those throws.
2nd and 10. It's going to be Osweiler in the shotgun with Lamar Miller. He's got 2 wide to his left, 1 to his right, dropping back to pass. Once again, the blitz gets there. He's able to get it off to his tight end, and he's got a lot of room over down to the 35-yard line, a 34-yard gain. They brought a heavy blitz, man coverage on the outside, and just a great awareness by Brock Osweiler, able to get that to his tight end on a little corner route for a 1st down.
We just talked about Osweiler standing in the pocket, making the throw. He sees the pressure coming. He knows he's going to get hit, but he gets it off there for a big play, and that was a big throw by Brock Osweiler.
Handoff to Lamar Miller on 1st down. He's going to get a couple yards up the middle. We'll call it 2, 2nd and 8. They're going to definitely want Lamar Miller to get going early and take some pressure off of Brock Osweiler being thrown into the AFC Championship game, though. This is almost as big as it gets, as we got the Super Bowl coming up in the next week. 2nd and 8 for this Houston offense. And once again, we'd like to thank everybody for hanging out with us here on MBL Live. Season 21 is the AFC Championship game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out here with Sonny as we got Brock Osweiler coming out in the pistol formation with 2 wide receivers and Lamar Miller behind him. He sends Lamar Miller to motion to the left side, changing up the play as the play clock runs down under 10. Dropping back to pass once again. It's a quick drop, and he throws it out to the left side, and it is complete to Lamar Miller for a 3 to 4 yard gain. We'll call it 4. Bringing up a 3rd and 5. A little safe throw there, but a big moment here for the young quarterback trying to convert a 3rd and 5 in the AFC Championship game.
And I'm okay with that. We talked about not giving up the splash plays. That's one thing Pittsburgh does really well, and this is a big area for them to do it, not allowing points on the board. So take what's there. Don't force it. Come away with at least 3 here, but make sure you come away with something.
4 wide receivers for Brock Osweiler with Lamar Miller in the backfield here on 3rd and 5. Soft coverage, it looks like, on the outside for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. It's going to be a handoff to Lamar Miller using a little draw play there, and he's able to get it up to the 21-yard line for a 1st down. But what a smart play call. It looked like that the Pittsburgh Steelers were expecting pass, and they just handed it off to their big back for a 9-yard gain.
That's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to try to surprise them a little bit. Good misdirection there by going with the run instead of the pass.
First and 10, Osweiler under center with the I formation. Going to be handoff to Lamar Miller once again. And the Pittsburgh Steelers were not surprised by that one. They take him down almost immediately. A 1-yard gain there, but a great job by the defensive line, creating a little penetration and not letting any holes open up for Lamar Miller.
You're going to have to get more creative than running on first down each time. You can see that the Pittsburgh Steelers run more man defense on first down, crowding the box. They're going to have to mix it up a little bit here going forward.
2nd and 9 for Brock Osweiler. He's got 3 wide to the left in the pistol formation with Lamar Miller. He's going to be dropping back to pass. The pressure gets there, but he's able to get the ball off. They're going to say his arm was moving forward, so it's going to be an incomplete pass, but a great job by Osweiler just getting that ball off as pressure was coming heavy from the left side.
Yeah, and you got to be able to see that blitz coming from the left side. I would like to see him switch to a slide protection over to the left, but he's got to feel the pressure. He does get rid of the ball, so good play there.
3rd and 9, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left for Osweiler in the shotgun with Lamar Miller and his tight end. He's going to be dropping back to pass once again. It's a quick throw to the left side, trying to hit DeAndre Hopkins, but unable to come up with the ball. It looked like they were just running a little quick slant, and the ball was behind him. They're going to be forced to settle for a field goal here. But if you're the Houston Texans, as this ball is down, the kick is up, and it's good. If you're the Houston Texans playing the defending Super Bowl champions in their house, on your first drive, you get points out of it, you got to be happy, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're a little upset. You got close there to scoring, you just couldn't pull it off. But at the same time, you do come away with something, so you're still in this game. Now, this is a big defensive drive. You can't let this turn into another 7 or else things start getting a little ugly. So you got to come away here no more than 3, but it'd be great to come out here and get a quick stop.
Close but no cigar. It sounds like my love life in high school. It's 7-3 Pittsburgh with a minute to go here in the first quarter. They're going to get the ball on the 18-yard line. We're going to get an opportunity to see Ben Roethlisberger do his thing once again. He's going to come out in the I formation. He's got Antonio Brown to the left and Martavis Bryant to the right with Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to Bell, and that play was blown up immediately. The Houston Texans defensive line, which has been so strong all year, creating a little penetration and stopping Bell for no gain.
Good play there. The cornerback came down and run support blitzing there, and so he helps with that tackle. And Le'Veon Bell looked to have a hole there, but it just collapsed a little quicker than he expected.
2nd and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers as they're going to come out with Le'Veon Bell. He's got 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right. Under center is Ben Roethlisberger dropping back to pass once again, trying to hit the corner out, but a great defensive play over there as that route was jumped. Lucky it wasn't intercepted, but is that a case of a throw that shouldn't be made or just a nice defensive play by the cornerback?
Well, Roethlisberger's under pressure there. J.J. Watt came in and almost got the sack there, so I think he was just trying to get rid of the ball quicker than he had anticipated.
3rd and 10 for Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's going to come out with 4 wide receivers looking to pass once again. The pressure gets there. It is Green making a great move, able to get to that ball, catch it just past the sticks, get a couple more yards. He's up to the 44-yard line. Great throw there. Ben Roethlisberger showing why he's just so good.
I didn't think he was actually going to get out there. It looked like he may have overthrown, but Green turned on the Jets at the end to make up the ground and get that reception.
1st and 10 for the Steelers, coming out once again with 4 wide receivers and Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. It's going to be Roethlisberger dropping to pass once again. He hits Sammy Coates over on the left side. Quick little out route there, gets 7 yards, bringing up a 2nd and 3. And this Houston Texans defense so far unable to stop Ben Roethlisberger, and he's been able to throw it all over the field.
Right. You know, when they've gotten pressure, it's worked, but they're just not getting enough pressure constantly. And this is why I talked about before the game about death by 1,000 cuts. Pittsburgh's just going to work it down the field nice and easy, and next thing you know, they're going to be up by 20 points, and it's going to be a lot to come back to. So Houston's really got to buckle down right now. Like I said, they can't give up more than 3 here.
You got to think if this game turns into a shootout, it certainly favors the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their offense is just so prolific. 2nd and 3 for the Steelers. It's going to be a handoff to Le'Veon Bell. He's got a big hole right up the middle. It's going to be about a 15-yard gain. It's going to be a first down as Le'Veon Bell getting the legs going. But once again, the Pittsburgh offensive line just creating a huge hole for their running back.
Nice cutback by Bell there. One of his best attributes is the vision there, and that was a good play there.
1st and 10 for the Steelers. It's going to be Roethlisberger dropping back to pass, and he hits Brown on the left side on a little post pattern and just beats the man defense once again. If you're Houston, you got to think you got to stay in zone a little more because their cornerbacks are just getting beat by these talented wide receivers.
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger can read man and zone better than probably anybody else in the league, and when he sees what he sees and knows what he wants to do, it's easy for him to score there.
1st and 10. It's going to be handoff to Le'Veon Bell over the left side. He's going to get a 6-yard gain there, bring up a 2nd and 4. But so far, the Steelers offense, no trouble moving the ball. And you got to think the Houston defense is going to have to change something up as we hit halftime. The Steelers are going to come out here under center. Big formation, only one wide receiver out to the right, and Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. It's going to be a play-action pass, and he rolls out, and he hits his fullback tight end. It looked like his tight end Stevens, and it's going to be a touchdown. That one was just too easy. Can't give Ben Roethlisberger easy passing lanes like that one, as it is caught and walked into the end zone. 14-3 Pittsburgh, and if you're Houston, are you panicking at all right now?
Yeah, it's time to freak out because I'm not sure that an offense can keep up with this scoring. They've got an offense that can put up roughly 20 points a game. Right now, you're on pace for a heck of a lot more than that. So if I'm Houston right now, I'm freaking out. One thing I would look to do on the next series, run a little press man, try to get some pressure on Roethlisberger, maybe show press and really bail out the zone. But they got to start trying to confuse them because just lining up and letting them pick them apart is not going to work.
Freak Out is a great song from 1978, but not what you want on the football field, as Pittsburgh is up 14-3 on the Houston Texans. The Texans unable to do anything on defense and going to have to rely on Brock Osweiler and the offense to get them back in this game. Down 11 as Osweiler is going to come out with two wide receivers and Lamar Miller. It's going to bring Hopkins in motion. Looks like a play action. He's going to be thrown out to Hopkins, who is wide open. Nobody out there. He's down to the 40. One man to beat. A nice tackle by Davis, but looked like DeAndre Hopkins had all the room in the world. A huge gain down to the 36-yard line for the Houston Texans.
Yeah, and Sean Davis with the touchdown-saving play there. That was a big play there for Houston. Houston needs to score a touchdown here to stay in this game.
Osweiler coming out under center here, down 14-3, and he's going to hit once again. It's DeAndre Hopkins in man coverage on the left side, and just as the Pittsburgh Steelers took advantage of some man coverage, the Houston Texans are using their number one wide receiver and DeAndre Hopkins to get some separation there. First down once again.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are really waiting for their shots when they get the man coverage. That's why I said I would maybe try to show some more press, show some zone, man aligned, things like that. Really got to try to confuse both these guys because right now line up in straight man is not slowing anyone down.
14-3 as so far both of these offenses humming along as it is an 11-point game with Pittsburgh the lead, but Houston driving down on the 14-yard line with 4:12 to go here in the second quarter. First and 10 under center is Brock Osweiler with three tight ends and one wide out to the left. He's going to be dropping back to pass, rolls to his left, hits his tight end just past the first down marker for a completion. It is Fedorowicz with his first catch of the day. First and goal on the 2-yard line. Brock Osweiler's looking so good. Do you even think about handing the ball to Lamar Miller here, or do you let Osweiler air it out?
Oh, you give the ball to Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller's still the best guy on this offense.
Under center. It's going to be a fullback dive up the middle, and they're going to say he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A late call there by the referees, but it is a touchdown, and the kick is up, and it is good, and it is 14-10. But, boy, this Houston team has got to get a lot of confidence from that offensive drive.
Yeah, that was a great response there, and I think if you're Houston right now, let the defense feed off that, get some pressure here on Pittsburgh, and get this ball back because, once again, Pittsburgh moving the ball so easily, they're a little shook. They just give up a big drive. Try to come out here and create some splash plays right here.
Anybody else tired? So far, this game has been frantic. 14-10 Pittsburgh on top with 3:44 to go here in the second quarter. As it's going to be Ben Roethlisberger looking out to continue what he's been doing so far, which is move the ball down the field. He's already got 145 yards passing on the day. Under center, it's going to be a handoff to Le'Veon Bell, who's got another huge hole on the right side. 9 yards. Le'Veon Bell, 5 carries for 36 yards. If you're a Houston team that has a great defensive line, you can't be happy that you're giving up so many yards both on the ground and through the air.
Yeah, and if I'm Pittsburgh, I'm going to keep handing the ball to Le'Veon Bell. Obviously, your offense has been able to do whatever they want, but Bell having a big game, I'd ride that a little bit more here.
2nd and 1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger is coming out with Le'Veon Bell alone in the backfield and 2 wide receivers. Dropping back to pass once again. And he's got a man open. It is Green over the middle. Breaks a tackle. Able to get it up to the 44-yard line. 14 yards on that one. And yet another first down for Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ladarius Green gets good release there. Works across the field underneath the zones. And easy throw, easy catch. Good play.
Great play there by the Steelers indeed as they're driving once again as we get under 3 minutes. Ben Roethlisberger in the shotgun formation. To be a handoff to Le'Veon Bell, but that play was immediately blown up. Great pressure up the middle by the linebacker, able to stop Le'Veon Bell for no yards, and that was Brian Cushing, a name we haven't called so far.
No, and interesting that they're not changing personnel. You had 3 wide set there, but they came out in base personnel on defense. Kind of surprising.
2nd and 10 for the Steelers. Under center with Le'Veon Bell is Ben Roethlisberger. He's going to hand it to Bell once again. And finally, the defensive line able to get some pressure, and that is Jadeveon Clowney, the former number 1 pick out of South Carolina, with his first tackle of the game. And it's a big one, keeping this at a 3rd and 9.
Border defense against a heavy set. It looks like Houston's really not even dictating their personnel off of Pittsburgh's. They're just going with their game plan and sticking to it.
An interesting strategy, no doubt, but they've got him in the 3rd and 9 here, and if Houston can get a stop here just before the 2-minute warning, it would be huge. As Ben Roethlisberger alone in the backfield, 5 wide receivers out there, dropping back to pass once again, moving around in the pocket. He throws it deep down the left side to Antonio Brown, and it is caught. He gets both feet in bounds, and boy, if you're the Houston defense, giving up a 20-yard pass play on 3rd and 9, not what you were hoping for. 2-minute warning, Pittsburgh driving once again. What does Houston got to do to stop this team?
They got to do something, get pressure, do something. Really, he had 2 guys open there. He could have gone underneath or over top to the corner route. So basically, Ben can do what he wants right now.
Ben Roethlisberger changing up the play at the line as he drops back to pass on 1st and 10. He has Bryant open once again on the drag route. Man coverage gets beat, and it looked like it's about a 14-yard gain going down to the 12-yard line. Martavis Bryant having a great game so far.
Yeah, Bryant is their new number 1 in Pittsburgh, and someone that if you're another team, you got to key on him. Antonio Brown's good, but Martavis Bryant's the man.
Bunch formation to the right, 1 wide to the left. Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. They're going to hand it to Bell, and a big tackle there by Evans. A loss of 3 on the play. Nothing going there. Immediate pressure, and getting Pittsburgh into these 2nd and longs you think would be a good play, but Pittsburgh so far has just been converting everything. You still got to be happy, though, stopping him on 1st down.
Definitely. And here's where I'm going to man align a zone. I'm going to run zone here, man align, make it look like man, see if I can't try to bait Ben Roethlisberger into a bad throw.
Got to try to trick such a good quarterback as he can read defenses so well. 2nd and 13, looking to pass once again. It's tipped and intercepted into the red zone. It is intercepted on the 5-yard line, returned all the way up to the 9-yard line by Johnson. A tip ball right there, but as you said, they did run that zone defense. It was a cover 2 inverted play right there. Able to get the interception. What a huge play for the Houston Texans.
And you know, not quite what I was saying, but it was one of those situations where it worked out for him. Now you got to try to score here, try to put up some points here before half.
5 wide receivers for Brock Osweiler as he comes out in the shotgun with nobody back there on his 9-yard line. Got a lot of yards to go, but 1:08 left and all 3 timeouts. Dropping back to pass, throws it to the left side. It is complete for a 1st down. What a nice throw there. Brock Osweiler has been showing off his arm so far. He looks completely composed here in the AFC Championship game.
For sure, but they got to hurry it up here. They're spending a lot of time, and they need to score. They've got 3 timeouts, but I wouldn't be wasting time here.
No doubt they're going to have a little urgency right now as they got the interception late and moving the ball down the field. Osweiler looking to pass. Once again, he's got a man wide open down the middle, and it is once again DeAndre Hopkins showing how good he is down into the enemy territory, the 36-yard line. How good is DeAndre Hopkins?
Apparently good enough to do what he wants right now. If I'm Pittsburgh, I'm putting 2 on that guy because right now that's the only thing keeping them in this game.
Man, you got to think that at some point you got to just start double teaming their best players. DeAndre Hopkins just having his way so far. As Osweiler's going to come out
in the slot again.
He's in that slot. You got to watch for him as Osweiler. He's going to throw a little screen pass out to the left side to Miller. Ow, big hit on the left side. Miller looked like he made the first man miss, but didn't make the second one miss. 2nd and 6. Once again, though, no timeout taken, clock running.
Wasting too much time here. It's going to come back. I don't know if they're just going to settle for a field goal, but I'd be trying to push it downfield. And it looks like they take the timeout a little late in the clock. That's going to be a
10 seconds
mismanagement.
Go?
Yeah.
Wow. No doubt. You thought they were maybe just settling for the field goal, but a little puzzling there to see them take a timeout after letting so much go off the clock. You think that they just didn't notice the clock was running?
I don't know, but that's on the coaching staff right there. You can't let 10 seconds tick away in a crucial situation like this one.
AFC Championship game, coaching mistakes are going to be killer. If it comes down to that, we're going to be looking at that play right there if they're going to have to settle for a field goal here. 2nd and 6 for Brock Osweiler. He's got 4 wide receivers and Lamar Miller in the backfield. Down 4 with 22 seconds left and 1 timeout. Dropping back to pass is Osweiler. He's going to throw it deep to the left side, and he's going to throw it up for Hopkins, who's unable to come up with the ball. But you got some choices there that look like they were going to just settle for the field goal. They throw up a risky ball on the left side. If you're Houston right now, are you just running it with Lamar Miller and taking the 3 points?
I don't think I'm doing that necessarily, but I am going to probably go with something underneath towards the outside, see if I can't get it and get out of bounds. If it's not there, I'll throw the ball away and take 3, but I'm not doing anything risky here.
Last thing you want is to turn the ball back over after a huge turnover on the other end. 3rd and 6. It's going to be Osweiler under center with 4 wide receivers in a tight formation and Lamar Miller in the backfield. Changing up the play as he surveys the defense clock. It's going to be a handoff to Lamar Miller up the middle. He's able to get the first down as the clock runs down to 12 seconds. They do take a timeout. Interesting, once again, a coaching decision. They hand the ball off, they get the first down, and they call the timeout early. Are they going to take a shot to the end zone here? If you're Houston, this clock management has just been baffling to me.
Well, you've got 2 or 3 shots here to take a shot, and that's what I expect them to do here. Just can't take a sack.
Can't take a sack. Don't want to throw it over the middle of the field either unless it's in the end zone. It's going to be Osweiler dropping back to pass once again. Throws it to the left side. Looked like Hopkins had a step, but a tough throw there, especially under pressure. 8 seconds left, 2nd and 10.
And so, once again, we talk about work the outside, make sure you get out of bounds. But with 8 seconds left, they're going to go ahead and kick a field goal, it looks like.
Interesting here is they are going to just settle for the field goal here on 2nd and 10 on the 24-yard line. The ball is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. It's 14-13 now. I know Houston probably some interesting coaching decisions there, not making use of their timeouts efficiently, but nonetheless, that was a huge swing for the Houston Texans. They just squibbed that ball up the middle. It's going to be caught, and 2 seconds left. We're going to see the Pittsburgh Steelers come out. But if you're Houston, you turned what looked like Pittsburgh was for sure going to get 3 points out of it into 3 points for you. You got to be a little happy, but the coaching decisions may come back to bite them.
Yeah, and so they're going to go ahead and they're going to come out of this with only a 1-point deficit, and that's something they've got to be happy about. But if you're Houston, you're feeling like you had a shot there to come away with the lead after half. But no matter what, you got to look forward here. You're down 1. You're going to be getting the ball. It's important you come out this next drive and score some points.
Halftime here in Pittsburgh. The score is the Steelers 14, the Houston Texans 13 here on MBL Live. It is AFC Championship action, and we'd like to thank everybody for joining us. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out here with Sonny as we watch these two teams duke it out for the right to go to the Super Bowl here in MBL Season 21. The Houston Texans taking the ball out of the end zone, and they're going to get it up to the 22-yard line. If you're Pittsburgh, this Houston offense, which is not known for having too many big plays, has really torn you up so far. What sort of defensive adjustments were you making at halftime?
Oh, well, I'm not going to bite on the play action so much. A lot of Houston's bigger plays have come off play action. I think I'm going to tell my guys, lay back, let Lamar Miller try to beat you, which hasn't been much of a go so far this game. So I'm probably going to lay back, get off the play action.
Only 32 yards rushing so far for Houston, as it's going to be Brock Osweiler handing it to Lamar Miller up the middle, and Lamar Miller is hit immediately and dropped. 1-yard gain there, but as you said, that Pittsburgh defensive line showing their strength right there, getting through, getting some penetration, and stopping Lamar Miller.
And so that's the way I'm going to play this probably the second half. I'm going to let the run develop, and I'm going to stay back and try to stop this passing, especially DeAndre Hopkins.
2nd and 9 for the Houston Texans. Osweiler under center. He's going to run that play action, roll out to his left, and he's going to hit his man over the middle, over on the left side. It's going to be complete down to a 3rd and 1, a little underneath throw to Jalen Strong, but a 3rd and 1 for Houston. Big moment here. Got to convert these short ones.
Yeah, and if you're Pittsburgh, I'm probably going cover 2, play underneath. I think Houston's going to go for the easy throw underneath, probably a drag or a quick slant here.
3rd and 1 for the Texans. I formation. Hopkins to the left, Strong to the right. Miller at the top of that I for Brock Osweiler and the Houston Texans. 3rd and 1. Big moment here for both teams as the Houston Texans getting the ball first here in the second half. Changing up the play, looking at the defense as the play clock runs down under 10 seconds. It's going to be handoff to Miller. He's got a lot of room there. He's able to get the first down. Looked like he missed a big hole there, a little more inside, but the important part, gets the first down, 1st and 10 Texans.
Yeah, not sure what the original play call was, but they checked it at the line. They saw a stacked box and checked to a run, it looked like. So that was a little interesting. But Brock Osweiler, nonetheless, is on fire right now, so let him run this game.
1st and 10 for the Houston Texans. They come out in the shotgun formation with 3 wide to the right, 1 to the left, and Lamar Miller in the backfield. Dropping back to pass on first down. Looks like they're setting up the screen, and they've got it set up beautifully. Lamar Miller runs into his blockers. Interesting there. He gets the first down, and they're going to call a hold. That play is coming back, and that is killer. They had the screen set up. A mistake by Miller and a mistake by one of the linemen. It's going to be 1st and 20, and what a change in momentum there.
If I'm Lamar Miller, I'm happy that penalty was called because the guys are going to be making fun of me going back to the line. You had a wide open space to run there, and you run into the one guy out there, your own guy.
Don't want to be running into your own guy. You really don't want to be running into any guys out there. You'd like to be as open as possible. But 1st and 20 for the Texans as they come out with 2 wide to the right. Lamar Miller in the backfield, bringing DeAndre Hopkins closer to the formation on that right side. Nonetheless, he's now in the slot. It's going to be a toss play to Lamar Miller over the left side, but Pittsburgh Steelers not fooled by that one, dropping him for a 3-yard loss. 2nd and 23. Can't imagine that's anywhere you want to be.
No, and this is not where you want Osweiler throwing the ball from, because this is where the bad decisions start. 2nd and 23. I'm probably looking underneath here, not trying to get it all back, knowing that I'm going to have about a 3rd and 10, 3rd and 13 after this play. So something in that mid-range, that 10 to 13 yards is where I'm sitting here.
We'd like to once again thank everybody for hanging out with us in the chat. We got John Blevin saying, Doe needs to stay with the ground game. Lamar Miller certainly a weapon for this Houston Texans team as the play clock is winding down. It's down under 5 seconds, and they're going to be forced to burn a timeout, and that is not what you want to do early in this game. A little trouble communicating. The coaching staff so far, the Texans personnel has played well so far, but that Houston coaching staff so far, a lot of mistakes early in this AFC Championship game.
Yeah, and this is going to be one where ownership's going to want to question that coaching staff after this, because they've tried to make this a game as difficult as possible.
5 wide receivers for Brock Osweiler. 2nd and 23. That first down line just barely in focus as he's going to be dropping back to pass, and he's got a man. It is Hopkins once again with a little room on the left side, but an inaccurate throw. That is one of the tougher throws to make on the deep corner route. 3rd and long for the Texans. You don't want to make a mistake here, but they certainly can't be happy to be in this situation.
No, and I'm probably going screen or something simple here, knowing that you're not going to get a 3rd and 23. There aren't many of those in the playbook. Go ahead, get something underneath here and just punt the ball, play some defense.
Sonny, are you saying you don't have a bevy of 3rd and 23 plays?
You know what? That side of my playbook has gotten a little thin over the years.
Oh, that's brutal. All my plays are for 3rd and 23. That's why I struggle so much on 1st and 10. 3rd and 23 for this Texans. It's going to be a shotgun formation, empty for Osweiler. Nobody open. Looked like they were trying to set up that screenplay over on the left side, but he just wisely throws it away. Forced to punt. Take some time off the clock, but if you're Houston getting that ball after getting a field goal before the half and you get the ball back, you got to be disappointed that you didn't get any points.
Yeah, but I'm okay with that because that was a good play there to not give up anything. No turnovers there, no splash plays by this defense by Pittsburgh. So you punt the ball, you got to expect your defense to try to get a stop here as you know, 32 is good starting position for Pittsburgh, but it's not deadly.
Okay, let's talk about this Houston defense. They had some trouble stopping Roethlisberger, a late interception, the only play that they were able to really get anything going. If you're Houston, what are you doing to stop this potent offense?
Same thing you've been doing, the last couple drives, they've gotten a little pressure. That zone defense appears to be working better. I'd stick with that and try to ride that.
1st and 10 for Roethlisberger. It's going to be a handoff to Le'Veon Bell in a huge hole up the middle. It's going to be 10 yards. It's going to be a first down. Bell, 10 carries for 51 yards, averaging over 5 yards a carry. I don't know did he lose any? I feel like he gained a step after getting injured. Is that possible?
Well, when you're running against 8 secondary players there, I don't know what the Texans are doing being in a quarter defense on 1st and 10 with heavier personnel out there. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Once again, I could run through those holes. Questionable
coaching once again by this Houston Texans team as they have been out-personnelled here so far on defense. It's going to be a handoff to Bell and another huge hole. Sonny, you want to suit up for the Steelers right now? I feel like you could really do this for a lot cheaper than they're paying Le'Veon Bell.
Once again, they're not matching personnel out there. They're going with just this very cornerback heavy defense. Ben's seen it at the line. He's checking to a run expected again.
1st and 10. It's going to be 3 wide receivers as Roethlisberger is under center. Brown coming in motion, and they're going to run a play action. It's going to be a throw out to the left side. Brown with a lot of room over there. He's down to the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Steelers, and what a turn of events. A touchdown for Pittsburgh to go up 20-13. The extra point being attempted as we speak. Ball is down, kick is up. It is good. An 8-point game now, and once again, it looked like they got beat by just straight-up personnel decisions.
They're struggling out there, and they're getting out-coached. And I think that the theme of this game when we look back after is just going to be that the Texans coaching staff just did not have a good game plan and couldn't stick to whatever plan they were running out there.
Opportunity here, though. Houston still within one score, 21-13, 2:15 left. And before we get too far, we want to give a big shout-out to our sponsor for our graphics. It's web3ks.com. They do all our overlays here on NBL Live. Doing a great job. They're the leader in affordable graphic design. If you need graphic design, go to web3ks.com. First and 10. It's going to be a fake on the end around, and Gilbert was not fooled by that. First time they're able to get Brock Osweiler down. They tried to run a play action, but it fooled no one. Second and 18. Houston falling apart a little here in the second half.
Yeah, and this, I think the meltdown's coming from Houston now. You're chasing, and you don't want to be a position. You're chasing Pittsburgh's offense, and that's what they're doing here. Expect an interception on this drive, as I think Brock Osweiler is going to try to push it a little too hard.
Osweiler coming out with 3 wide receivers and Lamar Miller in the backfield. Jalen Strong alone on that right side. He's going to be dropping back to pass here on second 18. He does hit Jalen Strong. Dangerous throw, though. It almost came true, but a nice play by Strong, able to come up with that catch through the contact. Third and 8. A great job there by Strong, making sure that that ball was not intercepted.
Ryan Shazier lurking in the middle of the game. We talked about him earlier today. Big part of those splash plays, him and Sean Davis. Watch for him here as they're going to be lurking. I'm expecting more of a corner route here. They'll watch DeAndre Hopkins and where he lines up. If he's in the slot, expect something over the middle. If he's on the outside, think more of a corner route, maybe a C route.
Got some great comments coming in the chat. Jiggy J-Rod, number 1 prospect in the grid, saying Steelers offense. Clicking Tyler Warner, saying 3 straight quarter defensive plays, all on first down. Easy to run it downfield. As Osweiler on third and 8 is going to drop back to pass. He's got nobody open, so he's going to take off, and he's going to get up to the first down line. It is a great, smart play there by Brock Osweiler. He had nobody open, avoiding the blitz, and able to get the first down.
Things I didn't think I was going to say today. Look at Brock Osweiler run for a 10-yard first down.
What do you think he ran the 40 at about 5'2"?
He made Tom Brady look good there.
Oh, man, brutal. But a first down play, Brock Osweiler, sometimes you don't need to be speedy. You just need to be smart, and a smart play there by Osweiler, really impressing me so far today as he's taken over for Connor Cook, and he has played well as he comes out in the pistol formation with 2 wide to the right and Lamar Miller in the backfield. To be a play action, he's going to roll out, and he's going to hit his tight end over the middle for a first down. Another great throw. Brock Osweiler, where has this guy come from?
He's been riding the bench in Houston, and I think there's a reason for that. I don't think the coaching staff trusts him much, but I'm not sure I trust the coaching staff much, so I guess we'll figure that out here soon.
No doubt the coaching staff has made some errors so far, but first and 10 as they get it on the enemy territory at the 43-yard line. So he may hand off a little stretch play as Miller looked like he might have had some room over to the right side. The second time we've seen Miller misreading some holes. It looked like he had some room on the right side. He cut it back inside, and there were a lot of black jerseys there ready to take him down.
Yeah, and so that's it for 3. We're heading into the 4th, and I was surprised. I thought this would be where Houston loses it, but so far Osweiler hasn't tried to press. Now we're getting into kind of a dangerous area here where Pittsburgh forces a lot of turnovers, kind of in this 40 and in back to their end zone. So if I'm Osweiler, I got to make sure I at least come away with 3. Once again, stay within a score of this team, but make sure you hold on to the ball. Don't turn it over here.
Second and 11 as Osweiler's going to come out. Empty backfield, 5 wide receivers in the shotgun. It's going to be a screen pass over to the left side, and it looks like it's going to be too strong. He had a little room, broke a tackle, was only able to get about 3 yards, bringing up a 3rd and 8. These wide receivers and running backs for the Texans so far having a little trouble seeing those holes out there.
Yeah, running vision on the field has not been their strong points. Really, their only strong points have been DeAndre Hopkins and C.J. Fedorowicz. The rest of the team's been relatively quiet this game.
3rd and 8, big moment here for both teams. They're on the 41-yard line. At the moment, that would be a 58-yard field goal, probably just outside the range as he's got 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right in the shotgun. He's going to be dropping back to pass here on 3rd and 8, and he's got the man that you mentioned. It is DeAndre Hopkins who comes up with it, and he's going to be short of the first down, 4th and inches on the 33-yard line. If you're Hopkins, you got to know where the sticks are and come down with that ball and turn up field.
Well, he came down with it in front of the line, but ran backwards untouched, and so the momentum must have carried him back as he just didn't have enough there. So they're going to line up here and try to, I would guess, quarterback sneak, but it's going to be into a stacked defense.
4th and inches for Osweiler. Big formation out there. Big moment for both teams. Osweiler changing the play up, and he's going to use another timeout, down to 1 timeout in the second half. What is going on with these timeouts being used so early?
I'm okay with that one. I think the play was a quarterback sneak. They got out there. They saw that heavy line lined up right over top of them. They knew that was going to be a tough one to get that sneak on, even though it's inches. So they're going to check that, come back out. Now, after doing that, I would like to see a field goal because I think it's too early to really risk going for it here. But with that said, I'm thinking Houston's going to come out and try to throw for the first down here.
If you're Houston, I know you say you're looking for the field goal, but this Houston defense really has not been able to stop Ben Roethlisberger. Does that change your thinking at all?
Kind of, but you still got to play smart. I think I would take 3 here and stay within a score.
Pistol formation. They're going to come out and go for it on 4th and inches. It is Osweiler with 2 wide to left. He's going to be looking to throw it on 4th and inches. He throws an interception to Dupree. He was just standing there making Osweiler miss, and he's going to take it down inside the 40-yard line. And if you're Brock Osweiler, that's the first moment we've seen a huge mistake. And I'm no quarterback, but even I saw Dupree standing there. There was no one open over there. Big interception for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, and the slant out of the slot there was wide open. He was locked into that curl route from the start, and, it came back to bite him. Le'Veon Bell is going to take this game over, and this game, as far as I'm concerned, is over.
No doubt it's going to be tough as Pittsburgh gets 9 yards there. They're already into field goal range, up a score, and no doubt they're going to be milking the clock. When you have a guy like Le'Veon Bell in the backfield, he's such a big player for this team late in games. As he's going to come out in the under center with 2 tight ends. Le'Veon Bell's in the backfield. They're going to hand it to him once again over the left to the right side, He's going to get another 7 yards, and Houston unable to stop him. And this game certainly looking like it's over. Houston looked like they had a chance, 4th and inches. Would you have stuck even with that stack line with that quarterback sneak, or are you okay with them taking a timeout and switching to a pass?
I was okay with them taking the timeout, but I would have taken the field goal at that point. You're down 5 points. You've got plenty of time to get the ball back. You're asking your defense to give you 1 stop, and they just couldn't come away with it. So,
big opportunity there as that ball, the receiver was not looking at it, hit him squarely in the back. Looked like an opportunity to intercept it, but the Houston players unable to pick that one off. That would have been huge for the team, but those are the plays we're going to look back on as sort of those key moments that don't come up in the stat sheets, but are huge in terms of momentum. They could have had it there as on 2nd and 10. They're just going to hand it to Bell. He's got a big hole once again on the right side, right up to the sticks. They're going to call him just short on 3rd and inches. Le'Veon Bell just having his way with this defense.
Yeah, and Bell's taking the game over. Pittsburgh's in scoring range here. They're going to make it a 2-score game, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. Like I said, Houston missed their chance. They had an opportunity there and just couldn't hang into it.
3rd and inches. Roethlisberger in the shotgun with 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left, and Le'Veon Bell. He's going to be looking to pass here on 3rd down. He's going to hit Martavis Bryant once again. Roethlisberger 14-18 for 254 yards and 3 touchdowns. Le'Veon Bell has been getting the ball here late as they're just milking this clock, but Ben Roethlisberger has been stellar all game.
Yeah, Ben's been great. Le'Veon Bell's doing his job. Right now, if you're Houston, you got to force a turnover. At least try to force a field goal here. Hope that you can get a block. So I would sell out here, try to get some pressure on Ben, create something.
1st and 10, Ben Roethlisberger can come out in the shotgun. He's got 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left, and Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. They're going to hand it to Bell over the right side. And even when it looks like he is stopped, he's able to make a couple men miss, get a couple yards up to the 7-yard line for 2nd down. Le'Veon Bell just showing what this team really did miss him through the last stages of the season.
Yeah, and one thing I'll say there is Houston sold out. They got in on the run. They stopped them. They're missing those timeouts right now, though. Obviously, they wish they had a chance to stop this clock. They've only got 1 more chance in the 2-minute warning. So if you're Pittsburgh, I wouldn't put the ball in the air. I'd just keep running it, milk this clock, and take your 3 and keep it a 2-score game.
Under 3 minutes to go in the game. Pittsburgh up 8, driving on the 7-yard line as Ben Roethlisberger going to come out 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right. He's going to be looking to pass here. He throws it over to the left side, and it is caught for a Pittsburgh Steelers touchdown over on that left side, a little corner route to the back of the end zone, and Pittsburgh just sealing up what's going to be a great victory. They're looking to defend their Super Bowl title, 28-13 Steelers with 2:47 to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and so Ben Roethlisberger doing what Ben Roethlisberger does. It looks like he's going to be heading to his 3rd straight Super Bowl appearance, and he's looking like he's in pristine form to have a shot to win it. Really nothing this game you could detract from. Maybe that tip interception that was, ill-advised a little bit, but a great play by the defense. But other than that, Ben Roethlisberger's been flawless this game.
Pittsburgh going for their 3rd straight NBL Super Bowl championship here in season 21. Be sure to stick with us through the end of the game. We will not only have our NBL live player of the game. You're not going to want to miss that here on the AFC Championship, but we're going to have an interview with the winner, the winning coach of the it looked like it's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's still a chance Houston could come back, 2:42 left, but Sonny, I have a feeling it's going to be the Steelers in this one.
Yeah, not making reads like that. The Brock Osweiler drops back, hits Ryan Shazier right in the hands. Shazier can't hang on to it. What should have been a turnover in the end of this game does give Houston a little bit of hope left.
No doubt, this Pittsburgh Steelers team looking to go in as looking for their 3rd straight Super Bowl championship. Unbelievable so far as Ben Roethlisberger possibly in his last year. So far, looks so good here in this AFC Championship game. Also, dropping back to pass on 2nd and 10, and he's just thrown it over the middle. It's tipped in the air, and it's intercepted, and there's the man. It's Ryan Shazier, easiest pick of his career, but that's probably going to do it in this one. 2:36 left, big turnover there for the Steelers.
Yeah, and Shazier finds the ball as it gets tipped up in the air, and that's going to be the game as Pittsburgh's going to run this clock out. Looking ahead, Pittsburgh, this offense is clicking, and the defense doing what it does, opportunistically trying to get those turnovers. 3 interceptions on the day for this, 2 interceptions on the day for this Pittsburgh defense. Very good defense right now.
No doubt the defense playing at a high level. They got so many playmakers over there on 1st and 10. It's just going to be a handoff to Le'Veon Bell right up the middle. Able to get a yard there. 16 carries for 88 yards for Bell. And no doubt this is a big moment for the Pittsburgh Steelers. These two teams did play in Week 17, and the Steelers ended up losing that game 26-24, a nail-biter, taking out a little anger here. That sort of rematch, it looks like the Steelers just came up with just a better game plan after losing that game, as Bell's going to take the ball. Loss of a couple yards here, but it's going to take us down to 2-minute warning. It looks like they took that loss to heart and were able to come up with a great game plan. And they really dominated this Houston Texans team in all facets of the game today.
I don't put a lot of stock in that Week 17 loss. They pulled Ben Roethlisberger at the halftime. They pulled a couple of their starters, not wanting to get injured heading into the playoffs. So I think, obviously, for Houston, it's a bit of a morale booster, but I don't think in Pittsburgh's mind that really affected them in this game.
We're at the 2-minute warning here in the AFC Championship game. 3rd and 11 is going to be handoff to Oliver over the right side. He's going to get about 6 steps back, but inconsequential. This clock's going to run down to under 2 minutes to go. Pittsburgh just putting the finishing touches on another AFC Championship. They're going for their 3rd straight Super Bowl. Sonny, you've been in the NBL for a while. How good is this Steelers team in the grand scheme of things? Is this one of the best teams we've seen in the NBL?
It's maybe a little early to say the words, but I'll go ahead and say it now. It's a dynasty right
Whoa.
now. You've got the Pittsburgh Steelers going for the three-peat as they missed that field goal. That is a big word. They're going for the three-peat. They'd be the first team in NBL history to go 3 in a row. They're one of the first ones to go to the 3 back-to-back in itself, but to win 3 is something that no one has ever done in the history of the league.
Season 21 as Pittsburgh is looking for their 3rd straight Super Bowl title as they're putting the finishing touches here on this 28-13 game. Minute 42, Brock Osweiler coming out. His play action pass, looking to throw it once again. No quit in this Texans team as that ball falls incomplete. If you're Houston, though, you got to feel good getting to this point. Nobody expected you to be here, especially with your backup quarterback, but disappointing. This game really was close going into the 4th quarter.
Honestly, the defense put them in situations to win. They had that turnover, bad coaching, and just some forced plays by Osweiler ended up undoing them. But, I tip my hat to the defense for sure to hold this Pittsburgh team down. Obviously, 28 looks like a lot on the scoreboard, but really a lot of that comes back to the offense putting them in some bad situations.
2nd and 10 for the Texans. It's going to be just a little underneath throw. Unable to come up with that one is Fedorowicz. Brock Osweiler, 13-25. Probably not quite what you're hoping for. He threw a couple interceptions. Both of them pretty crucial here in the second half. But what would you give Osweiler in terms of a grade for the day?
I'm probably going to give him a C-. He played about as well as you can expect from him. He made some bad reads. He made some good throws at times. I think my biggest issue with him is trying to force the ball a little bit late in this game rather than taking what was there.
3rd and 10, and the Pittsburgh Steelers defense going to take Brock Osweiler down for a big sack on that one. The game looks like it was already out of reach, but the finishing touches, this Pittsburgh Steelers defense, boy, this is one I would not want to face in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and like we said, they're not a team that's going to allow, they're a team that's going to allow a lot of yards, but they're going to create a lot of splash plays, and that's what they've done this game, forcing a couple turnovers, getting some big sacks, and really just making that offense uncomfortable throughout this game.
4th and 22 for this Houston Texans offense as they're going to come out. They're looking through their playbook. Do you have a 4th and 22 play? I know you said 3rd and 23 don't have a lot of plays. Do you have a 4th and 22 play out there?
Yes, I actually do. It's a fake punt right here.
Wow. Oh, we'll see if they do that here as on 4th and 22. They go a little unconventional. They just actually punt. Not a lot of punts in this game, more turnovers and whatnot, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to come out in victory formation. And Lip, going for his third straight Super Bowl title. Man, he's got to feel great about this one, especially with a team where he started out a little slow this year, picked it up at the end of the year, and just dominated the playoffs so far, going for his third straight title.
Third straight title. It's impressive. It's something that it's something that you haven't seen in NBL, and it's something that's going to be fun to watch as we head into the Super Bowl.
And be sure to stick with us. We will have an interview with Lip on our post-game show of the AFC Championship game as the victory formation for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're just taking the knees and putting the finishing touches on this game as we hit under a minute. And we will be looking to that NFC Championship game. If you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, Sonny, is there a team you'd rather face? You've played the Cowboys for the last couple of years. Are you looking for a new opponent, or do you just want the devil that you know?
The devil that you know is the one you want. The Cowboys, we know what they do. Pittsburgh's offense can shred just like Detroit. Now, for a fan's perspective, Pittsburgh-Detroit's the one we want to see. They're going to be able to push the ball downfield. It's going to be a high-scoring, fun game. But I think if you're Pittsburgh, you want the Cowboys to get your three-peat.
Clock running down. We are down under 10 seconds to go as Pittsburgh is going to come out as the victors in this one. A 28-13 dominating win at home over the Houston Texans. The Pittsburgh Steelers are your AFC champion. And before we talk to the winning owner, Lip, we got to pick our MBL Live player of the game. And for me, Sonny, I just got to say, I have to give it to Big Ben. He played so well today. He's the leader of this offense, and he really showed how good he can be today.
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger played vintage Ben Roethlisberger, 1 interception, but 4 touchdown passes, 261 yards, 78% completion percentage, doing everything he needed to do, only missing on 4 passes the entire game, and really showing why this team's got a shot to win its 3rd straight Super Bowl.
3rd straight Super Bowl opportunity for the Pittsburgh Steelers as they come out the victors in this one, 28-13 over the Houston Texans. A big win for the Steelers as they get to the Super Bowl once again, looking for their 3rd straight Super Bowl. I believe we have the winning owner, Lip, with us. Lip, congratulations. A huge win for your team at home. Tell me how you feel about getting an opportunity to go for your 3rd straight Super Bowl title.
Well, you know, it's a tough league. It's hard to put it all together for the whole time to get to the Super Bowl, but it feels good. It's just nice to see Ben play well. I don't want him to go out on a bad note, but the Texans had a great year. They're slowly building, getting better each year, getting further into the playoffs each year, and a lot of respect for what they've done building over the years and how they're able to get further each year.
Ben Roethlisberger, 15-19, 261 yards, 4 touchdowns, that 1 interception late in the first half. He certainly had a phenomenal game. Let me ask you this, Lip. You did play this Texans team. You lost to them in the regular season, 24-26, a close game, week 17, just as you're going to the playoffs. Did that have any bearing on your game plan, any motivation, or was that just in the past and you were looking at a brand new game?
I think that game and then our last game against Project Fat and his Raiders, we were a little slow. We were a little sluggish. We came out hot in that game, but we just could not put it together for the whole game. And I think that is because in week 17, we just did not play the way we should have. We had a chance to win at the end, to kick a field goal, to go up, but we just could not put it together in week 17. So I think that game had a lot to do with how sluggish we played last week, but we were ready this time, came out, and everybody put together a solid game.
Big moment there at the end of the second half. Ben throws that interception. You get off the field, though, that 3-and-out. How big was that 3-and-out after that turnover there to give you a shot to go into half with that lead?
Well, that's big. You know, it's not good to turn the ball over ever. I think on that play, maybe Ben tried to fit it in to a window that just wasn't big enough. Ball bounces around a little bit, gets picked off. And if that ball gets taken back, or if they drive down and score, that's a huge, huge thing. But we trust our defense. We've played the solid bend don't break. We've given up a lot of yards, but we've been okay down in the red zone. But yeah, that's a huge stop there.
Le'Veon Bell misses a lot of the season, comes in this game, really starts to show life or signs of life of what he was before the injury. How big of a boost is having Le'Veon Bell back on this team?
It's unbelievable. Brandon Oliver and Dre Archer did a good job for that 5 or 6 weeks he was out, but man, you cannot replace Le'Veon Bell. As you saw tonight, they were giving us a lot of 3-down guys, and Le'Veon took advantage of that as much as he could. Ben did a good job of calling audibles in that situation to get him the ball when he needed it, to take him out whenever he needed. And it's nice to have him back. He came back just last week. It was tough facing a good Raiders defense, but this week he was able to put it all together, and it's absolutely huge having him back.
Lip, let's look ahead. You got the Super Bowl coming up. You're going for your third straight Super Bowl here in the NBL season 21. The NFC Championship game, you got the Cowboys, you got the Lions. I know you've played the Cowboys the last couple years. I'm sure you've watched the Lions. Is there a team you're hoping to face, or are you just ready for any comers and looking to win your third straight Super Bowl?
I don't hope to play either one. Whoever wins.
You got to have one of those. I don't think another team's showing up.
We'll prepare for whoever comes through the door. Both are great teams. Obviously, Matt Stafford is unbelievable in what he does, being able to not turn the ball over basically at all a lot of the season. And then obviously Zeke for the Cowboys, that's going to be a challenge to stop. But I think either way, it's going to be a great game. I know that a lot of time and preparation goes in for the Super Bowl, and it's always a very entertaining one.
Well, Lip, once again, congratulations on winning the AFC Championship and going to the Super Bowl. Good luck next week against whoever you will face in that Super Bowl, and we wish you the best of luck going for that third straight title.
Thank you, guys.
And that'll do it for us here on NBL Live. Sonny, a big win for the Steelers, 28-13. Any final thoughts on this game?
Heading into the Super Bowl, I think Ben Roethlisberger's playing vintage Ben Roethlisberger football. I think, if he keeps playing like this, we're going to be talking about Ben Roethlisberger as one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play in NBL. So I'm excited to see who they take on in this game and what Ben can do to close out his career.
Well, once again, we'd like to thank everyone for hanging out with us through all of NBL Live tonight. Technical difficulties and not. We'd like to thank you for hanging out with us and spending your evening. For Sonny Weaver, I am OSU. Your final score from Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Steelers win the AFC Championship 28-13. We'll see you next time on NBL Live.